a requested video. This one is just kind of touching on some of the teams that are commonly used. I'm going to go in and, I mean, these are in obviously no particular order, but these are just kind of some of the teams that are suggested, for blitz, war offense, war defense, and I will just run through pretty much all the teams and just talk about their strengths, their weaknesses, what makes it a good team, and so on and so forth. So if you would like to see anything in particular, as always, just let me know. You can reach out to me on Discord at Khaleesi in-game mini call. With that being said, let's just dive right into this video. I figured the easiest way to go about this would be in just kind of going through actual blitz fights. So I'm just going to start from the top of my roster and kind of work my way down. This video is probably going to be a bit on the longer side. So what I will be doing is I will be uploading this in just a few parts. It just makes things a little bit easier in the sense where I can then upload it to YouTube and just kind of makes things easier. So it'll be a multi-part video. Obviously, it won't be a non-stop kind of thing, because I would say a full blitz rotation typically takes me, I would say maybe about close to 30 to 40 minutes. But anyway, let's jump into this. I do have these suggested rosters posted on the Discord page. I can repost that if anyone is specifically looking for them. I'm going to start things off with my symbiotes. And right now, I do have my symbiotes. They are broken up. The other members of this team in the past were regular Spider-Man and Spider-Man Morales. I have shifted them over to Young Avengers. I do have Vulture and Shocker kind of just as like little placeholders until the two new symbiotes are actually released in game. The rumors are that it's going to be Scream and Anti-Venom. So we'll see kind of how that team comes together. Right now, though, I will say with the symbiotes, they do really well. I would say primarily against Asgardians. I do have a great time with that. I would say I've kind of got like about a 99% success rate going up against Asgardians. They're also going to do fairly well against some other teams. But I would say primarily I use them as a Asgardian counter, which unfortunately I don't have an Asgardian team on here. But let's just kind of play through. We'll do a defenders. And the basic concept behind the symbiotes is really you are just going to be debuffing the hell out of your enemy team. Um, with those debuffs, they are slowly going to tick down, and as things start dying, Carnage is going to do all these speed ups. With the debuffs on, your characters are going to heal themselves. I mean, it's really just kind of a awesome combination. And I think once the other two actual symbiotes get added, it's really going to make for a killer team. So we're going to go in. We're just going to kind of this isn't really what I wanted to showcase with this team, but you can just kind of see kind of going through. They do tear through things pretty quickly. I added in Shocker and Vulture kind of for a couple reasons. They are Spideyverse characters, and they do go pretty quickly. And it's kind of a dual thing where, Vulture gets speed up anytime something dies, and at the same time, Carnage is getting speed up anytime anything dies, and he also causes his fellow symbiotes to get speed up. So it really just kind of works pretty well together. And Shocker gives them a little bit of a boost of a speed up and a couple buffs. So you saw that went through really quick. Like I said, I really like this team against the Asgardians. They do manage to take out the Asgardians, I would say 99% of the time. It's not normally a fight that can be autoed, but you can normally take them out. So I do have an Asgardian team here. I normally would not spend cores, um, but I do want to just show, hopefully this will be, not that 1% of the time, but I'll just show you kind of, I guess, my strategy going up against an Asgardian team. As you saw, they were pretty equal in power. Um, And this is kind of my normal go-to if I do see Asgardians on defense. This is normally who I'm going to attack with. So there are a couple different strategies you can go with this. Some people will try to take out Thor first. Other people try to go for Hela first. I really like getting rid of Hela just because I don't want her undead minions or the Gregs kind of in this like endless cycle of refreshes and healing. So I will heal block her with Venom, and once she's heal blocked, it goes down pretty easily, which, hopefully we'll see what happens with this. Um, with that being said, Shocker and Vulture, for the most part, they don't do too much on this team against the Asgardians. They're really kind of just warm bodies and targets. So the area that the symbiotes are lacking at currently is if they do get a heal block, it is pretty hard for them to come back from that. They don't do very well with a heal block. Um, but aside from that heal block, I mean, if they don't get heal blocked, they're pretty solid. And I mean, you'll see they'll go through this pretty quickly. The other problem you can run into is depending on the Hela and the Loki, you can get into a situation where they are kind of constantly going into invisibility, which can be annoying, but you can actually still kind of persevere through that. This is looking like it might be that 1% of the time. We will see. Hopefully, Symbiote doesn't get attacked. Right, he's out. But again, it's not a 100% counter, but it is a pretty good one. Like I said, a majority of the time they can power through this team. Um, it's just, again, some of it is luck and kind of who they are targeting. We'll see what we do, though. We might actually still be able to come through this. Hela is almost dead, which she is probably the hardest part of this team. So if I can take Hela out, I might still be able to recover, but I don't think so. Um, let's see. Yeah, this is going to be a wipe on my end. But again, kind of that concept. Like I said, it's probably about 99%. They can't punch up too much. If they are higher than the Asgardians, they normally do fine. If it is fairly even, it depends on your luck. Um, but like I said, I would typically say about 99% of the time they can normally take out Asgardians pretty well. Um, my next team on the list, I do have my Asgardians. They are, going to be one of the meta war defense teams, so you don't really get to attack with them all that often. But I can kind of just show you the dynamics of why they do work on war defense. And we will go into that. So one of the things with this team, the AI handles them really well, which is one of the reasons they do make up a great war defense team. And then just the synergy and just the way all of their kits work together, it's just really kind of phenomenal. So Asgardians, they are going to heal themselves every turn as long as there are Asgardian allies. Hela is going to spread debuffs all over the place. Every time an Asgardian gets hit, whether it is one of the marquee characters or even the Greg, Thor is going to build up charges. Once Thor gets to his 5 charges, he's going to do his AoE attack. And I mean, at the higher levels, that AoE attack just becomes monstrous and, I mean, can wipe out whole fields. And I mean, you'll see this fight. I mean, there's very few teams that can kind of go in against the Asgardians and really take them out. Like I said, the symbiotes, depending on luck, can take out Asgardians. The Black Order does pretty well against them. And then I would say the only other team that really kind of, you know, manages to go well against them is Fantastic Four, and then also X-Men with Phoenix. So they're just a really solid defensive team. And like I said, the AI handles them amazingly. Y'all saw how quick that fight was. I'm going to see if I can squeeze in one more, and then we will stop this and go to part two. Next up, we do have Inhumans. They are, again, a awesome meta offense team. They are going to do really well with just a number of teams. They punch up pretty well. Um, They can take out the Red Skull Hydra with absolutely no problem whatsoever, and even from the weaker side of things, they are going to be great against Aimtron if you are, looking at a Scientist Supreme that's rezzing. They are going to basically totally cancel out Minerva's mechanics with rezzing. So any team that really kind of heavily depends on characters either being revived, this is definitely a great team to kind of get rid of that. And then they're also just a really great team power-wise. So, I've been able to use them against several other teams. I've used them against Brotherhood. I have taken them against the Asgardians. They don't always beat the Asgardians. It's kind of a situation of if they are stronger, they can normally take them out. But overall, it's just a really great powerhouse. There's some great synergy. When they get below 50%, Crystal does a heal. Black Bolt with his burps are just, incredible. And then Yo-Yo with her kind of like faux tanking is just really another great mechanic. So they're kind of a really good overall team. As you do get kind of more teams and better counters, they are definitely more useful than just being kind of a Hydra counter. But if you're just starting to build up a roster, and I mean, maybe you don't have as robust characters, they are a perfect Hydra counter as they do totally negate Red Skull's ability with the revives. I'm going to stop this here for part one, and I will be starting part two in just a few moments. Thank you for watching. Hope you are finding this helpful. And again, if you want to see anything in particular, just let me know, Discord or in game, and look for part two in just a few moments.